I'm going to invite the other Charlie up here. Okay, now before I bring him up, I just want you guys to know that the other Charlie talks with a little bit of an accent. Just please give him your full attention. I promise you he means well, even though he sounds like a Cubs fan, okay? So without further ado, please welcome the other Charlie. Okay. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate this. Class of 2018, give yourself some applause. It's an honor to be doing the commencement speech at my alma mater. I graduated back in 2009, which may not seem like that long ago, but it was a while ago. Back then, we all thought the recession wasn't gonna end. We all thought the hashtag was something you dialed. And we all thought Chris Brown's career just ended. How has Chris Brown's career not ended? When I was in the J school, I wanted to make documentaries, so that's what I focused on. And I spent a lot of time on that, and that's what I thought I was gonna do. And then I graduated, and I did what any good college graduate does. I changed my mind immediately. I decided then that I wanted to be the next Brian Williams. Guys, don't give me that look. I'm talking Brian Williams back before he got caught lying about that whole helicopter situation, you know? Which seemed like a big deal at the time, but now we're like, at least he's not Matt Lauer. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to be the next Brian Williams, but I wasn't getting hired for any on-camera jobs. Yeah, I don't know why. So I ended up going to Los Angeles to work at a production company. I worked this job during the day, and then I started taking broadcasting workshops at night. At the time, I allegedly had a bit of an accent, you know, and I found out when I had my class with this instructor. He had one of those golden NPR voices, you know? From NPR News in Washington, I'm going to judge you. And I wanted to show this guy that I was gonna be the next Brian Williams. So it was our first day of doing anchor reads. I wrote my script, put it in the teleprompter. I sat behind the anchor desk. In Menasha today, police pulled over a man from Ashwaubenon for running a stop-and-go light. Police arrested the man after finding weapons in his bag. Yeah, he wasn't laughing. He had this look on his face like he had just found a fresh hemorrhoid, you know? It's like, Charlie, has anybody ever told you that you have a voice for print? Guy, you're a jackass. So anyway, I got shamed into getting a voice coach. But I kept working on my craft, put together a reel, and eventually I landed a job in news. First in South Carolina, then DC, then Dallas, and I got an Emmy for one of my reports, but something was nagging at me. It was me, dear guy, I was nagging at him. Even though I changed my voice, the voice in my head was still the same. And so was the voice in your gut, guy. Yet the voice lives in my head and my gut. It's complicated, but hang with me, folks. And even though I was finding success in traditional journalism, I just decided I needed to do something else. So I took another news job in Los Angeles. I was producing this time. And at night, I decided to start doing stand-up. And on weekends, I was making sketches. And then I started developing characters. One of those characters was a journalist from Manitowoc, Wisconsin, who never got that voice coach, who embraced everything that people said they didn't like about him and just doubled down on it. And that character did pretty well in the comedy clubs. And then I made a video. And that video did way better than I expected, so I made another, and then I got booked to do a headlining show, and that show turned into a tour, and then long story short, that tour was 6 months, and it's really been one of the greatest joys of my life. And yeah, wow, that was a pregnant pause waiting for applause. Thank you. I wrote applause, parentheses. But in other words, the reason I bring this up is that thing that instructor in LA hated so much about my voice was the same thing that got me up here speaking to you guys today. And a lot of people are going to tell you what you need to do, and you should listen to them and you should take constructive criticism, but resist the trap of holding yourself up to someone else's definition of perfection. And don't let anyone fix the things that make you who you are. Okay, folks, I hope this was the best commencement speech of your life. As always, go Packers and the Bears. Class of 2018, keep her moving. Thank you.
Hey dear guy, don't forget to subscribe because this was just a small part of the speech. I'm going to release the whole thing in a couple, 2-3 days. Also, we got the flags up for sale at ManitowocMinute.com. Part of the proceeds are going to the Boys and Girls Club in Milwaukee. And folks, before I end this video, I want to let Manitowoc Minute super fan and Platteville commencement speaker, and by commencement speaker, I mean commencement speaker, Dale Kivy, take us out.
Let's show our Wisconsin pride and wrap up with a shout out to Charlie Berens and the Manitowoc Minute. First one to answer correctly wins this cheesehead signed by Ralph Bruno, the inventor of the cheeseheads. Okay? So, work with me. Go Packers and... We got it.